Well, one of the things that was most impactful was about a year ago. I was actually at a concert. A friend who was a hip hop artist, and we were there, and he was a young man that grew up in the community in Mississauga that was kind of like a public housing, subsidized housing community, and I had worked for maybe from about 15 to 19 at a youth program that was run through my church, and many of the young people came from that same community, and we worked summer after summer doing programming, doing basketball, after school stuff. And so this was about 10 years ago now, and had great memories, and we had water fights and played president and had lots of ball tournaments and dances and all that stuff, but it was recreational, so it wasn't something, you thought it was good, had an impact, but you never really saw it. About 100 or odd youth coming through a year. Hadn't thought so much about it for years, and at the concert there were a lot of guys from the neighborhood there, and ran into one young man, and he was really happy to see me, and I hadn't seen him for years and years, and so kind of came up and gave him props, and he put his hand on my shoulder, and he's like, Kofi, the truth is that Oasis program saved my life. It shows just a different way to be organizationally, to exist when profit isn't the sole motive. And so different ways to think about impact, different ways to think about what's the value in the work you're doing beyond just the profit margin is something that I think we need to think more about, and I think the private sector is now trying to start thinking about, and hopefully non-profit sector has been thinking about that for a long time and can provide some leadership. Was a minister in the United Church, had always said his dream was a program that would put students and retired people together, because they both have lots of time on their hands and are not so invested in the system that they actually don't have so much to lose, so can actually be a lot more hands-on and involved in causes. And that would be an incredible space, a program that brought those two groups together around project work. So I think that is maybe part of the future, is creating those opportunities in a practical sense. Like, I think just having forums and discussions and whatever is kind of useless. Maybe it's fun, but it's not that important. But actually getting people together around projects so that they can make impact is a great way both to build the relationships and to do something good for the larger society.